राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंजा बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय राधा श्याम सुंदर राधा श्याम सुंदर राधे जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा तथा गो प्रमानंदे हरि हरि गो जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज काचार्य स्तोत्र शतश्री श्रीमद् के श्री भक्त वेदांत संस्कृतपाद की जय जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज काचार्य स्तोत्र शतश्री श्रीमद् के श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत ठाकुर गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय श्री भक्ति सिद्धांत ठाकुर आयुर्भाव महामहोत्सव की जय अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय नमाचार्य सरदास ठाकुर की जय प्रिंस घोष श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवास आदि गौर भक्त की जय श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय। श्री क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। गंगमय यमुनमयी की जय। भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। Alloris to assemble Hare Krishna. Alloris to assemble Hare Krishna. Alloris to assemble Hare Krishna. Alloris. Shri Guru and Gauranga. Gopal की जय। ओम विष्णु पदाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निधाम नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचार निर्विशेष शून्यवाद पांचात्सरे This is Shri Radha Syam Sundara from Vrindavan Dham. Okay, thank you for joining. We will discuss today Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, Opulence of the Absolute. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. नारायण नमस्कृतं देव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् अष्टाप्रयेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी हरि ओम तत्सत् Chapter 10, the new chapter is starting, Opulence of the Absolute, chapter title, verse number 1. Sri Bhagavan Vacha भूय एव महाबाहो शृणु मे परमं वचः यत्तेऽहं प्रियमाणाय वक्ष्यामि हितकाम्यया श्रीभगवानुवाच भूय एव महाबाहो शृणु मे परमं वचः यत्तेऽहं प्रियमाणाय वक्ष्यामि हितकाम्यया श्रीभगवानुवाच भूय एव महाबाहो शृणु मे परमं वचः यत्तेऽहं प्रियमाणाय वक्ष्यामि हितकाम्यया। Word to word. Sri Bhagavan Vacha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Bhuya, again, Eva, certainly, Mahabaho, O mighty armed, Srunu, just hear, me, my, Paramam, Supreme, Vachaha, instruction, Yat, the Duj, Te, to you, Aham, I, Priyamanaya, thinking you dear to me, Mukshami, say, Hitakamyaya, for your benefit. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna, because you are my dear friend, for your benefit, I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. We'll repeat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, listen again, O mighty armed Arjuna, because you are my dear friend, for your benefit, I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I have already explained. Verse number 2. The first section is 1 to 7, but time will not be enough, so we'll just cover 3 verses. But still a lot to cover. So many things to be discussed. Verse number 2. Name vidussuragana prabhavam namaharshayah aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasah. Name vidussuragana prabhavam namaharshayah aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasah. Name vidussuragana prabhavam namaharshayah aham adirhi devanam maharshinam cha sarvasah. Never, me, my, vidu, no, suragana, the demigods, prabhavam, origin, opulences. Never, maha, rushaya, great sages. Aham, I am, adi, the origin, he certainly, devana, of the demigods. Maharishinam of the great sages cha also sarvasaha in all respects. Translation by Prabhupada. Neither the host of demigod nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. I repeat. Neither the hosts of demigod nor the great sages know my origin or opulences, for in every respect I am the source of the demigods and sages. Verse number 3. यो मामजम् अनादिम् च वेत्ति लोकामहेश्वरम् असम्मूढा समत्येषु सर्वपापै प्रमोच्यते यो मामजम् अनादिम् च वेत्ति लोकामहेश्वरम् असम्मूढ समत्येषु सर्वपापै प्रमोच्यते यो मामजम् अनादिम् च वेत्ति लोकामहेश्वरम् असम्मूढ समर्थेषु सर्वपापै प्रमोच्यते. Word to word. Yeah, anyone who, me, ajam, unborn, anadim, without beginning, cha, also, veti, knows, loka, of the planets, Maha Iswaram, the Supreme Master, Asammuda, undeluded, Sai, Matteshu, among those subject to death, Sarva Papaihi, from all sinful reactions, Pramuchate, is delivered. Translation by Prabhupada. He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme Lord of all the worlds, he only, undeluded among men, is freed from all sins. Repeat. He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme Lord of all the worlds, he only, undeluded among men, is freed from all sins. So we'll try to understand these verses. Okay. ओम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यईश्वरं वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यस्य कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकम् रूप गोस्वामी प्रपाद की जय प्रपाद की जय गौर भक्तों की जय. Thank you all for joining. So this new chapter, Opulence of the Absolute, we'll understand the connection from the chapter 9, why Krishna, Lord Krishna is directly speaking without Arjuna is asking the question. We'll understand the sections of this chapter, and then we'll get to this today's section, the first section, 1 to 3 verses, where a few things are stressed, and the first verse is a lot of instructions are there, and then second and third leading on to that, what will be the result of following Krishna's instructions is being stressed in the second and third, and we'll see, and we'll look at today being Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur's appearance day. In relation to today's verse, first verse itself, we'll see what his instruction is, and we'll look at the opulence of the absolute. Opulence is talked about by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in two different books of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We'll see how much we can cover. So the first one, the previous chapter, 9th chapter, the most confidential knowledge, verse number 34, the last verse. Four things has been stressed. If one wants to develop love for Krishna, four things has to be done. Manmanava madbhakto, madhyaj imam namaskuru, mame vaisi satyante pratijane priyojne, or mame vaisi yuktayam atmanam matparayam. That is this 9.34 verse. Become my devotee. Manmanava, think of me. Madbhakto, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me. And namaskuru. Manmanava madbhakto, madhyaji imam namaskuru. Namaskuru means offering obeisance. Think of me, become my devotee, worship me, and offer obeisance to me. Four things. Very simple. But we have difficulty following. No. First thing itself, first one, think of me. How will you think of Krishna? If you don't know about his opulences, his details about his birth, his activities, his pastimes, his dealings, his qualities, how will you know? How will you think of him? If you have met someone, if you know about him, then you can think of those things what you heard or what you saw. But if you haven't seen him, neither you heard, neither you have any realization or anything, then how on what basis are we going to think? Only mental speculation only it will be. Nothing, and it can't be longer. You can't think long enough. So that's why Krishna is stressing now, even though Krishna is speaking about this opulence of the absolute all along from seventh chapter. The seventh chapter, knowledge of the absolute. Krishna is speaking from eighth verse. Soham apsu kaunteya prabhas Mrs. Suryo pranava sarva vede sabdake paurusham vasu. Bijam mam sarva bhutanam punyagandha prudivyam cha. So like this, almost till 12th verse, 4 or 5 verses, Krishna is speaking about the various opulence. I am the taste of water. I am the this earth, the smell, the fragrance coming from the earth. I am the seed of. I am there as a seed. So I am seed giving Father. I am the seed of everything, whatever coming from the earth. So like that, Krishna is speaking his opulences, but it's not enough. He wants to describe in great detail in this chapter. So that's why this connection from the ninth chapter, why Lord Krishna started speaking. That in the ninth chapter, also Krishna spoke about these opulences in the verse number 16 to 18, where Krishna is talking about Pitahamasya Jagato Mata Data Pitama Pavitram Omkara Ruksama Idurevacha Nidanam Saranam Suhrut. So like that, there are 3 verses or 4 verses. I am the father, I am the mother, I am the shelter of everything. So like that, Krishna is speaking. But now he wants to speak much more great detail so that after hearing again and again, then we'll be able to meditate on him, we'll be able to think of him. So that is the reason Krishna is started speaking. That is a connection here from ninth chapter to 10th chapter. So now let's look at the first verse. Sri Bhagavan Vacha. This Bhagavan has been mentioned. If he says Krishna Vacha in everywhere, then you'll think, oh, Krishna is there. That another person also Krishna, or some ordinary person. So that's why Bhagavan is used throughout Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, all transcendental literalism, most of the places you will see Bhagavan Vacha. Anybody, these days Bhagavan name is also used. But this is not that kind of Bhagavan. So one who's getting a tooth pain, one who's going through the threefold misery is not Bhagavan. Lying down on the street, so he's not Bhagavan. Here the Bhagavan is one who's having 6 opulences in full. Aishwarya Samagrasi Siddhasriya Jnana Vairagya Sannam Bhaga iti Gana. One who possesses full of knowledge, full of fame, full of strength, full of renunciation, full of riches, full of beauty, all everything in full, 100% full. That means because Jiva has only certain limitation, 48% or so. Rupa Goswami and Acharyas explains, comparison gives out of 64 qualities in full. Jiva has only up to 48% or so, that also limited. Lord Brahma has the out of all Jivas like that, he has high. But still he is not full. And then above that, Lord Shiva has 52 or so. And then Lord Ramachandra has, Lord Narayana has 60. And then Lord Ramachandra has 62. He can't play the flute. And one more thing, Venu Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri, Leela Madhuri, and there are 4 things which is very, very special and unique to Lord Krishna. Yeah, Venu Madhuri, Rupa Madhuri, and 2 more things. These 2 are specific to Krishna. So that's the 64 qualities full in full. These 6 opulences, whenever Lord Krishna comes, he exhibits all these 6 opulences in full. He's completely detached despite having all these things. So that's why everywhere, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, you see that Sri Bhagavan, that's what it means. Now, first line, Bhuya eva Mahabaho. By his Mahabaho is used. That's right. Again, Bhuya eva. Again, I am speaking because Krishna has spoken as we just mentioned. The 7th chapter is talking about bhakti, knowledge of absolute. How will you come to me? What did he stress? But before that, let's look at the sections. We understood the connection from 9th chapter, 10th chapter, why Krishna is speaking. And then the 10th chapter, first section is 1 to 7. Krishna is the source of everything. That is the first section. And then the 8 to 11, 8 to 11 is Chatusloki. In Bhagavatam also there are 4 verses coded. Whenever we say this Chatusloki, Bhagavad Gita Chatusloki Srimad Bhagavatam, which means these 4 verses concludes the whole summary of Bhagavad Gita that is there in this chapter. That's this chapter is also very important chapter. 8, 9 and 10 is also this is continuation. Actually, this is a continuation of the most confidential knowledge, 9 and 10. So that is the second section, 8 to 11, or 8 to 11. Chatus 8, 9, 10, 11. 4 important verses. And then you have 12 to 15. Yeah, 12 to 15 is Arjuna's glorification of Supreme Lord. After hearing Krishna's position, after hearing Chatusloki, then he fully realized. He was until that point he was thinking as a friend, as chariot driver, like that. But completely his position changed, and we'll see that glorification in that section. And then the 16 to 18 is Arjuna's questions and requesting Lord Krishna to share more details. And then the last section is 19 to 40. That's where actually you will see the actual opulences. So many opulences Krishna is saying. 19 to 42 all the way. So the whole big section, that is Krishna's opulences. In this way, this chapter is divided. Opulence of the absolute chapter. Now the first section, Krishna is source of everything. In that we are taking first 3 verses. So Sri Bhagavan Vasu we understood. Bhuye eva mahabaho sunu me paramam vacha. Sunu. This is the most important word in this verse. 7th chapter beginning, Krishna is stressing that. 9th chapter beginning, Krishna is stressing that. Again and again, Krishna is stressing throughout bhakti. If one wants to develop love for Krishna, he must hear. And Kunti Maharani is saying that also. That why did Krishna appear? Krishna appeared Srunvanti Gayanti Smarana Arhanani. So, he has specifically appeared to rejuvenate the living entities who are being conditioned or captured by Maya, to rejuvenate them, to bring them to his fold and share his opulence and take them back to Golok Vrindavan, Vaikuntha Dham. So that's why has appeared specifically for the reason to hear, to describe his pastimes, perform his pastimes. So to rejuvenate the hearing process and hearing, chanting, and remembering. Smaranarahani, worshipping him. So once you hear, once you chant, then you want to worship him because you develop love. It is like that. And then again, here it is mentioned Bhuyeva. Again, I am speaking. Why? Priyamanaya is dearmost. Why? Why is speaking Priyamanaya? Yes, Arjuna is the dearmost. That's why he is speaking. Devotion service. One's glories cannot be discussed with anybody unless he is dear. Unless he is sincere and serious. With them only you can discuss. Like your child's activities. You start describing, my child has done this today, he ate this, he was dancing like this, he was running like that, he was playing like this. You talk about for half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours. How many people want to listen? It is about what do I have to do with that? If your family member, your parents or grandparents, somebody who's close connection with your child, then yes, they want to hear. They want to talk to the child also. They want to see him. How is he growing up? How is he doing? They want to hear that sweet voice because that is out of love. Same thing here. Krishna is not speaking to anybody, and the whole battlefield, so many are there, but he is specifically speaking, Yatteham Priyamanaya, only to the dear one, especially Arjuna is being the dear one, he is speaking. And Bhuya Eva Mahabaho. Why is he saying Mahabaho? Mahabaho means he doesn't have ordinary hands. His hands are, he can fight with thousands of people at one stretch by one person. Arjuna being one person is Maharati. He can fight. What does it mean? Prabhupada explains that one who has a great determination, control of the senses, he is the Mahabaho. So he is telling, Krishna is telling indirectly, become determined to hear from me. Become determined to hear from me. How will you get that? One must be in the association of devotees. Saeva sadhu sukrutu moksha dwaram apavratam. One must be in the association of devotees, those who have developed attachment. Just like if somebody, a businessman, he is investing and in a new business and he was successful. So if one wants to have some faith and determination, what the other person will do? He will find out from this business person who was successful. He will associate with him. He will converse with him. He will understand what was how did he get successful, what did he do, what are some of the key things he has to look into it, and what are some of the could be careful things he has to watch out during this conducting this business. Then he will become determined to execute. Oh, this I can also do, because after hearing, after understanding his story, how he has done it, how he was successful. Same here also. Who is successful? Who is determined? Arjuna is determined. Mahabaho. Pure devotee is determined. Not everybody is determined. So that's why by following those who have significant attachment to Guru and Krishna, by in their association, by hearing from them, then you can develop the determination. Otherwise, it doesn't come. It doesn't come. So it's the same thing with the material teacher also. Whatever you take profession, it's always it's one who is really into it, from whom you associate, you learn. Then it's very easy to quickly learn. Theory is one thing, practical is another thing. That means one you associate really is doing, he himself is also doing, not only speaking. Then by associating with him, then you will also, that means by engaging in him, with him also in services and everything, more you associate with him and do everything, then gradually you will also become like him. Like Prabhupada said, what is the difficulty? You just follow me. What I am doing, you also do. This is not rocket science. I am reading, I am chanting, I am hearing, I am doing service. You also do. What is the problem? You just follow me, maybe slowly and gradually, then you'll come to this level. There is no anybody can become a pure devotee. There is no bar. It's not it's an impossible thing. It is possible, but it is up to the what we want to do with free will. So it is choice is ours. So that's why Krishna is speaking here. Bhuye eva mahabahu. Again, I'm speaking because you are the dearmost. That's why I'm speaking to you. Because just like the child, your child's description you are discussing with your someone close friend or close relative or someone, you are again and again speaking. They don't mind. They want to hear more also. They also like it because they have love for the child. Same way here also Krishna has so much love with Arjuna. So that's why both can go on speaking for hours. And we see that Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur's instruction. He was not at all tired. He was continuously whole life, 50 years plus he was speaking. Morning, afternoon, evening, throughout the day. That's what we'll see. So that's why here Bhuyeyo Mahabhava Krishna is mentioning. Greatly determined. And in the association of devotees. Srunume Paramam Vachaha. One must hear. If we hear with rapt attention, then you can see very quickly. In Kunti Maharani's prayers, further in Srunvanti Gayanti Smaranti. Tavehitam jana tavakam. So one will quickly see the Lord's lotus feet. He can attain the Lord's lotus feet by simply doing these three activities. Srunvanti gayanti smaranti. Nandanti tavehitam jana. Acharena tavakam. Very quickly, if he does these three things. So that's why this will develop taste when when you are in the association of those who have developed taste. If you are not in their association, then it may take some time, quite some time, or lifetimes also, because they themselves are not in that consciousness. Then how will you absorb? Because constantly we are absorbed in the materialistic ideas and thoughts. So day after day, then where is the question of development of spiritual consciousness? We can't develop it. So that's why the association is the key. Shastra is telling again and again, left and right. Throughout Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, you see that Krishna is stressing this point. Dear, he is only talking to the dear. Dear ones, the confidential topics. And that means that also means here is Krishna is saying next verse also connection. No one knows me. Krishna is telling no one knows me because he can only even though Krishna means everybody knows yes, Krishna is Supreme Lord. That doesn't mean much. You need to know how you can develop love, how you can see him, how you can talk to him, how you can develop that rasa and go back to the spiritual world and engage in pastimes with him. How will you do? Only when he reveals, then you'll know. When he will reveal, when you develop love for him. When you are in the association of pure devotees, because of their glance on you, because of their prayers on you, because of their recognition of you, then Krishna will recognize you. Until that point, then we won't be able to get the revelations of Krishna. Krishna will reveal, he is there in the heart. Sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishto matta smritir gnanam apohanancha. Remembrance, forgetfulness I am giving. One who doesn't want me, then I am giving forgetfulness. He will want every material things, he doesn't want Krishna at all. Okay, that is, Krishna is there as Paramatma. He is watching what really we want. We want Krishna or something else. We want something else, so he'll give yes, go ahead. To the degree you have karma pious grade, to that degree he will allow you to engage in material activities to that level only. Matta Smrutir Gnanam Apohananch. If one really wants Krishna and his devotees represented, then yes, he will keep on giving the realizations. He will keep on reminding you through various devotees, through various instances, various difficulties. He will keep on giving you the lessons that you wake up. You have to wake up from your deep sleep and engage in my activities. You'll remind, continue to remind if you are in that platform. So that's why here important. Bhuyeyo Mahabaho Srunume Paramam Vacha. The hearing is very, very important. Yatteham Priyamanaya. You are the dearmost. Vakshyami Hitakamyeya for your own benefit. What is that benefit? He's speaking. Second and third verse is speaking. What will be the benefit? So if you hear, if you follow what Krishna is instructing, then you will get the greatest benefit. So greatest benefit. Through any other process, you can get this benefit. No, not through karma, not through gnana, not through yoga. Only by process of bhakti you can attain actually Krishna prema, panchama purushartha. Not even moksha, moksha and all those things, secondary things already you'll obtain without any separate endeavor for that. So that's it's very important. So that is the gist of this verse. We will go a little faster. Already 7:30. I haven't we have to read some 2-3 other things. So verse number 2. Hopefully you all got the understanding of it. The second verse. Name vidu suragana prabhavam na maharshaya aham madri devanam maharshinam cha sarvasya. The first two lines. Look at that. There's a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam related to that. Name vidu suragana. Neither Suragana means demigods. There are 33 million demigods. 33 are principal and their whole families together, 33 demigods like Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Rudra. Like that, there are Prajapatis, Sinikumara, total, I think, all together 33 of them. I mentioned in one class, I don't know about the exact specific names of 33. And then their whole families together, it becomes 33 million demigods. So none of them knows. It is a, Krishna is mentioning. Name vidu suragana. Not only that, Prabhavam cha na maharshreha. Even the great sages also doesn't know. Prabhavam, my opulences, my birth, my activities, my qualities. Then further Krishna is saying, Aham adirihi devanam. Why Maharshinam cha sarvaja. Actually, I am the Adi, I am the father of all. Devanam, demigod, and also Maharshinam. So what does it mean? Krishna is saying, let's look at a natural example, like 5 or 10 generations before, or grandfathers. Do you know much about them? Maybe one or two people may know, some people may know a little bit, but not a whole lot because it is 10 generations before. And imagine about here Krishna, Lord Krishna himself, who will know? Demigods are born now. Each every millennium demigods are changing. In one day of Brahma, there are 14 Manus are changing, and then each Manu, then the demigods are changing. So then how will they know? If they themselves are changing their limited time period, then imagine Krishna is Adi Purusha. His original is there. How will they know? Unless he himself will reveal, because the devotion service, the bhakti, process of bhakti cannot be understood by mind, intelligence, senses. What Shastra is telling? Bhaktya Bhagavatam Grahya na buddhya na chatikaya. Bhakti can only be understood Bhagavata Grahya, book Bhagavata and person Bhagavata. Book Bhagavata is Srimad Bhagavatam and person Bhagavata. Through a person who has realized it, by him, those who are following, then in their association you will be na buddhya, not by intelligence, not ikaya, by self-study. It cannot be obtained. It cannot be obtained. Many verses are there like that. Atapi te deva padambujadvayam janami tatvan bhagavan mahimno chiran vichinno. Na chanyo vichinno. You can't understand Supreme Lord Sri Krishna without the mercy of Supreme Lord. Atapi te deva padambujadvayam. The two lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. And is represent. Janapi Tatvam Bhagavan Mahimno. He cannot understand his glories, he cannot understand his birth, his activities, his pastimes. So that's why you'll see that Lord Brahma got bewildered. Who is this person covered by? How can he perform these? He can be a covered boy and he has a left hand, he's eating yogurt rice in between fingers, he has fruits. It doesn't seem like he's a supreme lord. How can he do that? Left hand, who will put? Left hand is unclean. We are not supposed to use left hand. When you take Achman plus Mahaprasad, everything on the right hand. When you put Tilak, also right hand. You don't use left hand for anything, hardly. Because that's it's a, yeah, generally in one sense, it's a contaminated. Left side, we don't use it. Right hand only we are supposed. Then, but Krishna is using left hand also, he has yoga tries and he's eating. So he's applying rules. So that's why you can't understand bhakti. You use your intelligence, use your mind, use your logic, use your rules and things. It doesn't work. It's not. You can't understand like that. So that's why it can be only understood by the mercy of the pure devotee, mercy of the Lord, when He reveals. Ata Sri Krishna namad na bhaved grahyam indriyaihi. Sevonmukha jihvadav swayam eva spratiyada. Unless these blunt senses cannot be, you cannot understand him, but by taking prasadam, chanting the holy name, by gradually by in the association of devotees, then we can really understand. Whether it's a ordinary persons like us, or even the demigods, even the great sages, they also cannot understand. And we see that bewilderment of the greatest demigod, Indra, Lord Brahma, so many bewildered. But these examples are there so that we can understand how. But if it comes to pure devotee like Prahlad Maharaj, Narada Muni, Vyasdev, you look at all these great examples, they are not bewildered. They're always fully submitted. They don't become bewildered because they are. So that is, it is not about your qualification. It is not. That's why it is not janma stira sruta srivir yedamana madapuma naivar hatum abhidatum vai akinchana gochara or bhogaiswara prasaktanam taya aparata chetasam vyavasayatmika buddhi samadho navidiyate. If you are after this scholarship, erudite scholarship or beauty or material strength, opulences, through any of these, it's very difficult to develop this attachment to Krishna. You cannot understand him through any of this. None of this will work. Only thing will work is mercy of the spiritual master and Krishna. And Krishna will not give his mercy unless he is recognized by a pure devotee. That is the principle. Wherever you go, Yasya deve parabhaktir yatha deve tatha guru tasyaiva hi katita prakasante mahatmanam. Again and again, Krishna, this is Svetasvatara Upanishad. So many times Prabhupada quotes this verse. So that's why we need to depend on the mercy of the pure devotee of the Lord. Then Krishna will glance at us. Until that point, Krishna will not even glance or give mercy. So as he speaks to Uddhav also about this, about I am the Guru means my representative is non-different from me. So yeah, in the 11th canto, I'm trying to recollect that verse, but anyway, so in many places it is mentioned. So that's why here Krishna is stressing that point that unless they are revealed in the heart by me, then only they can understand. Otherwise, demigods cannot understand, sages cannot understand. Only my pure devotees can understand. That's what he means. Because this is the absolute truth is very confidential. It is not a question of any of the material qualification. It is a question of internal consciousness. Your position as a menial servant. Then you can understand. Then the mercy will flow. Acharya parampara, slota parampara. You have to hear always and you have to follow the Acharya. Disciplic succession, descending order. That's how the knowledge flows. Then the unbroken discipline, not even broken, unbroken. Always, that's why Prabhupada, whenever he's talking, I am only representing transparent via media of previous spiritual master. So that's why whenever you hear, because we don't hear, that's why you can't understand, because you hear, you start to hear from unauthorized people. They don't know who's guru. Even if they have guru, who's their guru? Parampara. How did they actually get? Who is the previous acharya? Whether it's a bona fide sampradaya or not. All these things are have to be considered. It's not that somebody is speaking Krishna, somebody is singing Krishna Kirtan, just hear from him and then you will get transformation. No. Shastra is clearly telling no. So he must be a Vaishnava. That means Vaishnava means he will follow the Parampara. He will follow the Guru Parampara. Then only is called Vaishnava. Always Vishnu and Tadiya is representatives. Otherwise, how can he be called as Vaishnava? So he must be chanting. He must be following in the footsteps of previous acharyas. तन्नाम रूप चरितादि सुकीर्तनानु अनुस्मृत्यो तिष्ठन् भजे तद अनुराग जनानुगामी कालम नयेत इति उपदेश सारम. Instruction Rupa Goswami is giving the important verse on the Paribhasa Sutra of that book is, one must be in the association of pure devotee, under the guidance of pure devotee. You should chant, you should hear from Nama Rupa Charita. Then this gradually Nama Rupa Guna Leela of the Supreme Lord will be revealed. As you chanting the holy name itself, that will be revealed. You don't need to explain, oh, I have to read this book, I have to do something else, I have to go to somebody else, my guru is not giving. No, he is giving the best process. You just don't have submission in the Guru's lotus feet. You don't think that Sri Prabhupada has given everything. No, he has given everything. We don't have submission at Guru's lotus feet. So that's why we can't. The Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is clearly telling, if you want to develop love for me, give up all your internal attachments. Externally, yes, you do everything. You don't renounce family or the job or your whatever duties, community, whatever duties you have, you perform that. But it's the internal consciousness, with which consciousness you will do it. That you are in relation with Krishna, everything you will see that this job, I'll use that problem, that money, what I'm getting in Krishna service. This family, they are going to support. I'll bring them to Krishna consciousness also gradually. I'll use community, I'll serve the community, but I'll also engage them, bring them to Krishna. In this way, everything you will see in relation with Krishna. At that point, you have nothing to renounce externally. It is about the internal renouncement of the material attraction or allurements. Rather, you will have developed that in relation, everything you see in relation with Krishna. That is what Yukta Vairagya is. So that then that is that way you will get develop love. Otherwise, it's very difficult to develop love towards Krishna. So that's why we must follow the pure devotees of the Lord. By their mercy, we will start developing this kind of consciousness. So that's why in this verse, as Krishna is mentioning, Aham Madhuri Deva. So neither demigod nor sages will be able to know unless I reveal myself, unless they are following the footsteps of the pure devotees. So that is an important point Krishna is making. So don't hear from unauthorized unless they are in the bona fide sampradaya, bona fide acharya, then only. And we will know when Phalena Parichita, you will see the results of transformation if he is a bona fide acharya or not, whether he has developed love for Krishna or not, how many has become real pure devotees. So that is the second verse. And third verse, what will be the result? Why should I hear? Why should I hear again and again? Why should I follow Krishna? Krishna is saying, यो माम अजम अनादिम च वेत्ति लोक महेश्वरम असमूढ़ समर्थेषु सर्व पापै प्रमुच्यते. That's what will happen on the last line. He who knows me as unborn, beginningless, as the supreme lord of all world, he only undiluted among men is freed from all sins. This is what will happen. People ask this question or the understanding that what is the problem? I will feed poor people, I will perform, I will be a good person. I don't need to let Krishna be there, let I be there separately. I don't need to know so anything. I don't need to perform any of these activities. I'll just be a good person and serve people and help others. But that's not good enough. That is just pious credit. And then whatever activities, knowingly or unknowingly committing sinful activities, for both you have to come back to this world. Pious and impious, it doesn't help you to go beyond this material world. You cannot attain in the next birth itself. Human birth is not guaranteed. Unless you perform bhakti, there is no guarantee for even getting human birth. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is mentioning only for those who have performed Neha Vikran Nasasti, for whom Bhagavad Arpit Nishkam Karma, for whom who is performing that, then for them. that he will be saved from greatest danger, which is death is the greatest danger. At least he will continue where he left off. That credit will never go waste. But any other thing you may do, karma, gnana, yoga, yes, there is no guarantee. There is no guarantee. It has to be mixed with bhakti. That's why you may not have any desire for results. You might be opening hospital, whatever, but that doesn't mean anything. It will only help in enjoying some benefits out of it. But it has to be in relation with Krishna, Bhagavad Arpita. It has to be done with Bhagavad Arpita. Then there is a transformation. Then there is a benefit of this. All the sinful activities will go away. So then only you can enter into Krishna. Unless you are fire, how can you walk in fire? You can't walk in fire. You will be burned. So unless you are in the Brahman stage, how can you enter into Parabrahman? How can you communicate with Parabrahman? You can't. So that's a Brahma Janati iti Brahmana. One who is situated in that Brahman realize fully that Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha, that stage, and then he can communicate with the Lord. So that's why those impurities has to go away. That means simple activities. Seventh chapter itself, Krishna is saying, Yesham antagatam papam jananam punyakam te danda moha nirmukta bhajan temam drudavrata. Then you will have determination. So when you give up all the simple activities, that will come when you follow this process what Krishna is describing, starting with hearing. Then, so that is the benefit. Why should we hear? It will remove all the simple activities, all the contamination, all the unwanted things, whatever we have. Everything has to be wiped out because we might have learned so many isms, so many things, so many speculations from childhood. All those has to be wiped out because we don't have proper conclusions of Siddhanta of the Shastra. So all those has to be thrown out. You have to follow what Guru and Shastra and Sadhu says, and by gradual process. So then we can be successful. We'll be able to transform. We will develop love, and we can go back to Godhead. So that's what these three verses are specifically speaking. Now let's look at what these opulence of the absolute is. Before that, let's hear what Sri Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur Goswami Prabhupada is speaking. And let's see. So, not clicking. No, I don't know why. Anyway. Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur saying, although everything Sri Saraswati Thakur did was to promote the pure kirtan of the holy names, he was known mainly for his speaking, not singing. He claimed kirtana in his own only activity, yet clearly his kirtan was primarily Hari Katha. He often explained Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's famous dictum, Kirtaniya Sadahari. Yeah, one must develop that consciousness as I was mentioning. Nadanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmani isware bhavatat bhakti rahaitu hitoi. We have to come to that stage. It doesn't come so easily. Nadanam na janam na sundarim. We're not after money, not after followers. That doesn't mean we reject money, we stop working. No, that's not what it means. Internal consciousness. We are not so much. If it comes, we'll take. Even if it's 10 million, 100 million, whatever comes, we'll use in Krishna service. That's not a problem. Like Dhruv Maharaj got. So he's using. So in that way, Prabhupada got also. Then he used everything in Krishna service. So there is no problem with anything in relation with Krishna. We will use everything in Krishna service. But internal attachment is not there. For popularity, not for money, not for vidulaman, none of that. Nadanam, najanam, na sundarim. Kavitam va jagadish kamaye. And my only intention is to please Krishna and his devotees. I am running after few devotees. Kamaye. Ahaituki. So, Mama Janmani Janmani is life after life. I want to be in the service of Guru and Krishna. That's what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is mentioning. So here also we see that Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur is mentioning, generally understood to promote unceasing chanting of the holy names as an injunction of for non-stop glorification of the Lord by Hari Katha. Thus, Hari Katha was Srila Saraswati Thakur's life, issuing forth from his lotus mouth as naturally as breathing. And then he's saying, I have had the opportunity to hear and discuss these topics since the beginning of my life. I have been discussing these points for 50 years now in great detail and every moment throughout the 24 hours when awake and even when slumbering, while continuously discussing these topics. Eventually, my body will wear out and fall down. I will glorify until the last moment of my life all that I have learned from my gurus. Always Krishna himself is speaking that way, that he's always talking about Vedanta, he's always talking about this is what I heard from the previous acharyas. So that's why always Guru also says the same thing. Previous acharyas, he never claimed that I am the scholar, I have studied and I learned myself. Then he is not a Guru. Why only one mouth? Let me have unlimited mouths and an unlimited lifespan to unlimitedly glorify the unlimited qualities of Krishna's devotees. The Kirtan culture, widespread in Bengal, had sprung from Lord Chaitanya's propagating Hare Namaiva Kevalam, misunderstanding of which had led to under-emphasis of the importance of Sravana, hearing Harikatha. So that's why understand that it's a lifetime opportunity, especially hearing from Guru. Always pay attention. Life will go on. You have taken many lifetimes. When you get opportunity to hear from a pure devotee of the Lord, we have to try to make an effort to hear. At least we should try. Then Krishna will arrange the situation. If you don't even try, don't even have inclination, Krishna cannot, rather Maya will keep on piling up things. Then we have no way to get to it. So that's it. First you have to have that endeavor. Try, you have thought process at least. There's a planning. This is very important. It's not otherwise you clearly see the point. But still Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur revealed that Harikatha is the Swarupa Shakti of Harinam. You think that chanting the holy name, I can do my chanting, I don't need to hear from Guru. But you can see this. Harinam, just as Krishna is properly worshipped not alone, but with his Swarupa Shakti, Sri Radha. That's why here, when the third or second verse, Krishna is saying, Aham Adri Devanam, it means that Krishna is the source of all Vishnus. Krishna is the source of all the Shakti Tattva, which is Radharani, Lakshmi, Durgas, billions of them. He is the source. Shakti Tattva, Vishnu Tattva, Jiva Tattva, all the Jivas, all these categories. Eko Bahusham. He is one, but unlimitedly expanding into all these categories. Swayam, his own, is Vishnu Tattva. The internal energy again, Radharani and all the expansion, pleasure potency. But then Jiva Tattva is marginal potency. And then Maya Shakti also, external energy. So, but it's all source. Who is source? Krishna is source. So that's why it's very difficult to understand unless you follow the parampara. Further, what he says. He stated that whenever Harikatha is spoken, wherever Harikatha is spoken is a tirtha. Recitation of Harinam is incomplete and improper unless accompanied by hearing Harikatha. Otherwise, how will you develop taste? नाम नाम आकार बहुधा निज सर्वशक्ति तत्रार्पिता नियमिता स्मरणेन काल एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैव ईदृशी हा जनि. I don't have taste. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is exhibiting. I don't have taste because I haven't developed the humility. I haven't developed the tolerance. Because you have great tolerance for material enjoyment, but you don't have tolerance for chanting. You don't have tolerance for ignoring somebody, chastising us, somebody is correcting us, somebody is fault finding us, whatever. Because that is not our end goal. The end goal is to attain Krishna and Guru, so to speak. And nothing should obstruct us. Nothing should take us away from Krishna. If we have that focus, nothing should agitate us. That should be our focus. Nothing else. So further, Krishna is making the point. Harikatha is spoken as wherever Harikatha is spoken as a tirtha, and that Harikatha is the guardian of a genuine sadhus in a world where everything that surrounds one is ready to become an enemy and attack the unprotected. Moreover, he stressed that taste for and faith in Harikatha is the very root of Hariseva and would recite Harikatha hi kevalam paramam sreya. Harikatha alone is the supremely beneficial activity. And there is no other method of well being besides unceasingly and attentively hearing discourses about Hari. From who? From the highest devotee. Who is the most beloved of Krishna? Who is most beloved of Krishna? Sri Prabhupada. And his representatives, Guru. There is no other means for attaining service to the Absolute, save the guided oral activity for catching the transcendental sound. Because Golokera Pramadan, Harinam Sankirtan. Harinam, Krishna Mahamantra is not coming from somebody created this mantra. No. It is coming from the Golok Vrindavan. So that's why it has a potency. If you follow, you might be following, You might be chanting, but unless Guru gives, Guru has to, at the time of initiation, is actually same mantra, but it doesn't have you will not get transformed unless it is given. So the seed of bhakti is sown in the heart of the practitioner by Guru, by the bona fide Acharya and bona fide Sampradaya. Then only this holy name can actually start working. Until that point, doesn't reveal itself. So that is very important. Transcendental. You would quote tad dinam durdinam manye mega achannam na durdinam yad dinam Krishna samlapa kata piyusha varjitam. I do not consider bad a day covered with clouds, but one devoid of discussing the nectar of Krishna Katha. Sri Saraswati Thakur was a voluble river of ambrosial Krishna Katha. Being fully imbued with and non-different from the transcendental energy, his words had the capability to enter the deepest recesses of hearers' hearts and connect them to the spiritual. Simply upon hearing from him but once, several persons surrendered and became his disciples. That is, Prabhupada is one of them. His potency derived from his own faith and dedication to delivering Harikatha. So this is what it is. You can understand the importance of hearing from Guru. You must pay attention. Now further, let's look at Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's opulences. अजानुलंबित भुजो कनकावदातु संकीर्तनैक पितरो कमलाय पक्षो विश्वम्भरो द्विजवरो युगधर्म पालो वंदे जगत प्रिय करो करुणावतारो आनंद लीलामय विग्रहाय हेमावति विसुंदराय तस्मै महाप्रेम रसप्रदाय चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते चैतन्य चंद्राय नमो नमस्ते. All the Vaishnavas eagerly gazed at Gauranga. Although they saw Lord Chaitanya only once, they could not forget him. Due to transcendental affection, they couldn't control themselves. Old men, boys, women, men, and even the fools all agreed that Lord Chaitanya was surely Lord Sri Krishna himself. One Vrajavasi said, this is in Vrindavan, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan. One Vrajavasi said, Krishna has returned to Mathura to see his places of pastimes. Another said, if he isn't Krishna, then why does he stand in a threefold bending form and call out the name of Radha? The Vrajavasis stayed with Gauranga and throughout the day and night. They didn't want to leave him for even a second. Lord Chaitanya saw each and every tree and Leela stall, pastime place, one after the other. Everything in the forest of Vrindavana is completely full of love. Lord Chaitanya manifested himself in each and every house in Mathura Mandal. Some saw him as a child, others saw him enjoying his youthful pastimes. Someone heard him playing his enchanting flute. Another, maddened in prema, embraced Gauranga as her husband. Everyone considered him to be his own. When Gaurahari wandered in the forest, the trees, the creepers, and flowers melted in ecstasy. The bees, cuckoos, peacocks quickly came near the Lord. They raised their heads to release the nectar of Gaurachandra's face. The Lord reciprocated with all the creatures by glancing lovingly at them. Everyone knew that Gauranga was actually Krishna in the disguise of sannyasi. Thus, Mahaprabhu finished his tour of Mathura and returned to Nilachal. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Vrajadam's pastime. Now, let's look at his consciousness, what he's teaching us. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching. It's a wonderful nectar. Gauranga can't bear separation from Krishna. Attempting to pacify his devotees, Gauranga said, you are my personal servant. Please listen to me. The Lord tried to speak, but his voice choked with emotion. This is Ananda. There's a verse, right? In Sixashtami. Tears flooded from his eyes. They turned red like the rising sun. Overwhelmed with love, and Lord fell silent. Then Lord Viswambar said, fearing impending separation from me, you have all become sad and miserable, but I myself am feeling totally overwhelmed in separation from Krishna. For the sake of your own pleasure, you appear to give me pleasure. Exactly how do you love me? In separation from Krishna, my heart and my senses are burning. My limbs are on fire and fever races through my body. Even my mother seems like a fire. Your words are like a poison to me. Life without Krishna is not life at all. It is just like the life of beasts and birds. A dead body has form but no life. Even though many living entities exist within that body, without Krishna, all the activities of religion are futile. They are just like the Brahmana without knowledge of the Vedas, a young lady without a husband, or a fish without water. Without wealth, what is the use of entering household life? What is the use of starting a learned society among the illiterate? My heart is throbbing in separation from Krishna. In this state, I can hear your appeals. I will take the dress of a sannyasi and travel to all the countries, searching for the Lord of my heart. Then Lord Gauranga cried, fell down on the earth, and snapped his Brahman thread. In a piteous voice, he cried out, Oh Prananath, Lord of my heart, Lord Gauranga. You can see that Aslishavam Padaratam Pinastumam Marmahatam Kurodo Yata Tatavatulam Pado Mat Prananadastu Sayevanapra. Break my heart or trample me down, whatever. So I am ready to, life after life, ready to serve. Whatever you may do, you wish to do. I am yours, you are mine. That was the mood in Sikshastakam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showing in the mood of gopis. So the same thing here, it's happening. Lord Gauranga continued, listen, all of you, the material existence is doubtful, dangerous, full of poison, unseen by others. This poison is constantly burning my heart. My senses relentlessly demand satisfaction. Desire for material pleasure increase day by day in every new form. The desires such as greed, lust, anger, envy, false pride never spare a human being. Kamadinam katida palina dunnidesha. Tapat jata mai tapatre. There's a verse on this line that we try to pacify these various desires, but it never gets satisfied. We go on lifetime, but never get satisfied. They rob a man's mind and stay lodged within his heart. He never gets consolation from these desires. Externally bound by Maya in the form of sins and material desires, he forgets Krishna and travels in the misconceptions of body, caste, and creed. All the beautiful things in the world make us forget Krishna. When one begins to serve Krishna, his real life begins. Knowing that human life is very rare, still I have given up Krishna's service and now I am going to die. Listen, everyone, I am telling you the essence of the truth. All of you, please bless me so that love of Krishna will develop within the core of my heart. Please always sing the glories of Krishna. Uh, may you always see Krishna's beautiful lotus face and eyes. May your hearts be tied to his beautiful lotus feet. What more can I say? Without seeing Krishna in my heart, I am burning alive. I am drowning hopelessly in the ocean of material existence. One who sees Krishna as his father, mother, guru, friend, and only Lord can easily worship the Lord. You are all my dear friends, and you are exalted devotees. Don't neglect to show me your mercy. Soon I will take sannyas and distribute love of Godhead for the welfare of everyone. Then Viswambar rolled on the ground, smearing his golden body with dust. He was breathing heavily and chanting tumultuously, Hari Hari. His whole body broke out in horripilation and sometimes shivered. At times he spoke in a faltering voice. Then he would cry, laugh, or jump about due to ecstatic love in separation from Krishna. At another time, Gauranga roared, Vrindavan, Vrindavan. A moment later, he would loudly call Radha, Radha. At another moment, he hiked up his dhoti and beat his chest with his both fists, yelling, Hari, Hari. His friends felt sad and helpless, wondering what they could do, say to comfort the Lord in his anguish of separation. Murari Gupta said, Gaura Hari, please listen. You are completely independent in all respects to teach others and show your compassion. You show these pains of separation according to your sweet will. You will do whatever you want. How else can we explain your behavior? You know everything, and we are just insignificant living entities. We don't know what our next life will be. Maybe a fly or an insect. You are the friend of all and ocean of mercy. After deliberating, just do whatever you think is the best. Gauranga smiled and embraced the devotees, manifesting his love. The Lord said, listen, everyone, don't doubt my words. Wherever I may travel, I will always stay with you as your shelter. Then Viswambar bade farewell to the devotees and went to his home. So, what it means is, as you regularly hear in the association of devotees, as you chant the holy name attentively, then you are in connection with Guru and Krishna. More you do that with attentively, with love and seriousness and attention, then you will be in connection with Guru. Everything will be revealed. Everything will be revealed. That's what Sri Prabhupada said. I am always there. I didn't leave you. My Guru was always there with me. As I follow my chanting and my hearing, these two things always. When you do that seriously, as you progress in that concentration and absorption, then more you do, then we'll be able to also see and hear and receive the revelations of Guru and Krishna, what they want us to do, how they want us to do. Everything will be revealed. But we have to do. It doesn't happen in a day. It happens by gradual progress. How serious we are, how submitted we are, accordingly that happens. Otherwise, it doesn't happen just in one night. without having that exclusive shelter of Guru and Krishna. Now we will read from Chaitanya Charitamrita as it is explained. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining to Sanatana Goswami about this opulence, the absolute. It will take at least 10-15 minutes. Let's start reading about it. Agati ek gatim natva hinartha atika sadakam Sri Chaitanya likhyam asya madhurya aishwarya sikaram. Offering obeisances to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, let me describe a particle of his opulence and sweetness. He is most valuable for a fallen conditioned soul, bereft of spiritual knowledge, and he is the only shelter of those who do not know the real goal of life. जय जय श्री चैतन्य जय नित्यानंद जय द्वैत चंद्र जय गौर भक्त वृंद सर्वस्वरूपेर धाम परव्योम धामे पृथक पृथक वैकुंठ सभा नहीं का गणने. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, all the transcendental forms of the Lord are situated in the spiritual sky. They preside over spiritual planets in that abode, but there is no counting of those Vaikuntha planets because it is unlimited. And you can't, just like if you want to go to moon planet or some planet, and they are using rockets. But using these rockets, you can't get to the spiritual world. Forget about that. They can't even attain moon unless they have proper qualifications. They say they attain moon, but they haven't. Otherwise, why did they come down? Because moon planet is so much enjoyment is there. Because they are not able to get in, so that's why they have to come down again. So that's why it's important to understand these things. So Sata Sahasra Ayuta Laksha Koti Yojana Eka Eka Vaikuntera Vistara Varnana. The breadth of each Vaikuntha planet is described as 8 miles multiplied by 100, by 1000, by 10,000, by 100,000, and by 10 million. In other words, each Vaikuntha planet is expanded beyond our ability to measure. Beyond our ability. So many millions of planets, just like universes are there, millions of universes in the material world, 1/4 Brahmanda, 3/4 the spiritual world. And you can imagine how much is the vastness of Vaikuntha that has been described. That's why these are called opulence of the absolute. Sava Vaikuntha Vyapaka Ananda Chinmaya Parishada Sada Aishwarya Purna Savahaya. Each Vaikuntha planet is very large and each is made of spiritual bliss. The inhabitants are all associates of Supreme Lord and they have full opulence like the Lord Himself. This is how the Vaikuntha planets are all situated. As Pantastu Koti Satavatsara Sampragamyo Vayo Rathat Manaso Munipungavana Supyastya Prapada Simya Vichincha Tatve Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Vajame. You can use your mind speed to go, but you can't go beyond this material universe. Forget about spiritual. You can't even go cross this material world and enter into Viraja River. However speed you may go, mind speed, you can go so many places, but you can't still enter into the spiritual world. So that's why we need the mercy of Guru and Krishna. Ananta Vaikunta Eka Eka Desya Ar Sai Paravyoma Damera Ke Karu Vistar. Since all the Vaikunta planets are located in a certain corner of the spiritual sky, who can measure the spiritual sky? So this kind of explained as like a cloud comes and appears and goes in a sky. So that is like a material world. Material world getting created, destroyed, going on. Because living entities want to enjoy and that they are taking different bodies in different universe, different continent, different countries, different families. And this is going on. So for that reason, and the cloud appears and disappears. Like that, this material universe also gets created, destroyed. On and on, goes on. अनंत वैकुंठ परम व्योम यारा दल श्रेणी सर्वोपरि कृष्ण लोक अकर्णिकार गणी. The shape of the spiritual sky is compared to a lotus flower. The topmost region of the flower is called whorl, and within that whorl is Krishna's abode. The petals of the spiritual lotus flower consist of many Vaikuntha planets. So you can consider the whole Vaikuntha as like a thousands and thousands of petals. The center petal, center whorl is Radha and Krishna reside. That is a Golok Vrindavan. It is mentioned in the first or second verse of Brahma Samhita. Sahasra Patra Kamalam Gokulakyam Mahatpadam Karnikar Tat Karnikar Anantam Sambhavam. It is unlimited. So many petals. Each petal is one gopi. So Radha Krishna is in the center. So that is so much, thousands and thousands of petals. And this is how it is described. The shape of the spiritual sky is compared to a lotus flower. The topmost region of the flower is called whorl. We read that further. Yei mata sad aishwarya sthana avatara brahma shiva anta napaya jiva kora konchara. Each Vaikuntha planet is full of spiritual bliss, complete opulence and space, and each is inhabited by incarnations. If Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva cannot estimate the length and breadth of the spiritual sky and the Vaikuntha planet, how can ordinary living entities begin to imagine them? So that's it. It's not a question, neither by scholarship, neither your position. It is only purely only by mercy of Guru and Krishna. There is no other way about it. Again and again, you look at any book, any recognized scripture, authorized scripture, that is what you get. Ko veti bhumam bhagavan परात्मन योगेश्वरोतिर्भवतस्त्रिलोक्यां क्वा वा कथं वा कति वा कथेति विस्तारयन् क्रीडसि योगमायाम्. O Supreme Great One, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, O Super Soul, Master of all mystic power, your pastimes are taking place continuously in these worlds. But who can estimate where, how, and when you are employing your spiritual energy and performing your pastime? No one can understand the mystery of these activities. यही मत कृष्णेर दिव्य and सद्गुण अनंत ब्रह्म शिव सनकादि ना पाया यांत. Same the second verse of Bhagavad Gita we just read. The spiritual qualities of Krishna are so unlimited. Great personalities like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, and four Kumaras cannot estimate the spiritual qualities of the Lord. So you can understand what is our position. So गुणात्मानस्ते अपि गुणान् विमातुम् ईताव अवतीर्णस्य का ईशिरेश कालेन यैर्वा विमीता सुकल्पैर् भू पंसव के मिहिक द्युभाषः. In time, great scientists may be able to count all the atoms of the universe, all the stars and planets in the sky, and all the particles of snow. But who among them can count the unlimited transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? He descends on the surface of the globe for the benefit of all living entities, as we read in the first verse. Hita kamyaya. He is always desiring for our benefit. We are the one kicking in the Lord's face that I don't want you, neither I want your instructions. I want to do my own thing. That is the cause of our being in this world of prison house, material world of prison house. So until we recognize that Krishna's direction, until we recognize and want to develop love and want to hear his instruction, till that point he cannot reveal. So that we have to make an endeavor to come to him, to hear from him. ब्रह्मादि rahु सहस्र वदने अनंत निरंतर गाय मुखे ना पाया गुणेर अंत. To say nothing of Lord Brahma, even Lord Ananta, who have thousands of heads, cannot reach the end of Lord's transcendental qualities, even though he is continuously chanting their praises. So that is unlimited. What we got in Srimad Bhagavatam is in this universe. If you go to another universe, you will have another Srimad Bhagavatam. Unlimited. There is, you can't even stop. What has been described is only limited portion. So endless. How many devotees are there? How many pastimes you are going to describe? So that was unlimited. So even Anantadev is not able to describe. Na antam vidam yaham ami munayo agrajaste maya balasya purushasya kuto avaraye gayan gunan dasa satanam adideva sesho adunapi samvasyati nasya param. If I, Lord Brahma, and your elder brothers, great saints, sages, cannot understand the limits of Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is full of various energies, who else can understand them? Although constantly chanting about his transcendental qualities, the thousand-hooded Lord Shesha has not yet reached the end of Lord's activities. Lord Narada Muni is, I think, hearing from Lord Brahma. Seho Rahu Sarvagna Siromani Sri Krishna Nija Gunera Antana Pana Hayena Satrusna. To say nothing of Anantadev, even Lord Krishna himself cannot find an end to his own transcendental qualities. Indeed, he himself is always eager to know them. So that's why he's taking the mood of Radharani as a devotee. You understand why some devotees, gopis and cohort boys get so much pleasure. He wants to understand. That's why he takes the mood to understand that. Ju pata evate na yur antam anantataya tvam api yad antaranda nichaya nanu savarana ka iva rajansi vanti vayasa saha yat shrutaya Vahi Palanti Antar Nirasanena Bhavan Nidana. My Lord, you are unlimited. Even the predominating deities of the higher planetary system, including Lord Brahma, cannot find your limitation, nor can you yourself ascertain the limit of your qualities. Like atoms in the sky, there are multi universes with 7 coverings. Yesterday we were mentioning that. This each universe has a 7 coverings: earth, water, fire, air, ether, and then the mind intelligence, 7 layers. Even if you go all the way to Brahmaloka, still you have to cross over, and each layer is 10 times. It's more bigger and bigger and bigger. It is impossible. Even for the great yogis itself, is impossible to come to that level. He has to go all these planets. It's not possible at all unless you have the proper qualification. Now, all the experts in Vedic understanding are searching for you by eliminating the material elements. In this way, searching and searching, they come to the conclusion that everything is complete in you. Thus, you are the resort of everything. This is the conclusion of all the Vedic scriptures. सेह रहु व्रजे येबे कृष्ण अवतार ताम्रा चरित्र विचरिते मन ना पाय पारा. Apart from all the argument, logic, negative or positive processes, when Lord Sri Krishna was present as the Supreme Personality of Godhead at Vrindavana, no one could find a limit to his potencies by studying his characteristics and activities. So that's why everything concludes in him, because everything is coming from him. Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, all the incarnations of everything is coming from him. So that is what here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly instructing Sanatana Goswami. प्राकृत अप्राकृत सृष्टि कैला एक क्षणे अशेष वैकुंठ वैकुंठ आजंड स्वा स्वा नाथ सने. It gets interesting now. At Vrindavana, the Lord immediately created all material and spiritual worlds in one moment. Indeed, all of them are created with their predominating deities. This is Lord Balram is doing. Krishna is not doing that. Lord Balram is the one who is expanding into all the spiritual planets. And through his expansion, material world is getting created. Through Purusha Avatara, they are also not directly. Through Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. यही मत अन्यत्र नाही सुनीय अद्भुत याहार श्रवणे चित्त हया अवधूता. We do not hear of such wonderful things anywhere else. Simply by one's hearing of these incidents, one's consciousness is agitated and cleansed. These are the very in Chaitanya Charitamrita what we can get anywhere. Krishna Vatsair Asankyatai Sukadeva Vani Krishna Sange Kata Gopa Sankhya Nahi Jani. According to Sukadeva Goswami, Krishna had unlimited cows and cohort boys with him. It gets interesting. No one could count their actual number. We hear in Bhaur now 9 lakh cows Ananda Maharaj has, but in spiritual world he's talking about unlimited cows, unlimited cohort boys with him. No one could count their number. एक एक गोप करे यही वत्स चारण कोटि आरुद्ध संक पद्म ताहार गणन. Each of the cohort boys was tending cows to the extent of a koti, arubda, sanka, padma. That is the way of counting. That means it is going, millions and millions. You can't even count. We don't have material calculation to count those. It is mentioned here. Unit tens mean dasha, hundreds, thousands, 10,000, 100,000, 10 times. In this way, it is increasing and increasing. Our companions of Krishna had many cows to take care of. We can't even count. Vetra Venu Dala Sranga Vatsra Alankara Gopa Ganera Yata Tara Nahi Lekapara. All the cohort boys had unlimited cows. Similarly, their canes, flutes, lotus flowers, horns, garments, ornaments are all unlimited. They cannot be limited by writing about them. Sabe Haila Chaturbhuja Vaikuntera Pati Pratak Pratak Brahmandera Brahma Kare Stuti. The cohort boys then became over 400 Narayana, predominating deities of Vaikuntha planets. All the separate Brahmas from different universes began to offer their prayers unto the Lords. Because when Brahma stole, the Lord Krishna expanded himself into all of them as 400 Narayana. That is described here. Eka Krishna Deha Haite Savara Prakashe Krishnaika Savai Sei Sarire Praveshe. All the transcendental bodies emanated from the body of Krishna, and within a second they all entered again into his body. That's why Brahma got bewildered 3 times there. Iha deki Brahma Haila Mohita Vismita Stuti Kare Yei Pache Karela Nishchita. When the Lord Brahma from the universe saw the pastime, he was astonished and struck with wonder. After offering his prayers, he gave the following conclusion. यही कहे कृष्णेर वैभव मुनि सवा जानोन से जानू का काय मने मुनि ये मानोन. Lord Brahma said, if someone says that he knows everything about Krishna's opulence, let him think that way. But as far as I am concerned, with my body and mind, I consider it in this way. यही यही तुम्हार अनंत वैभवामृत सिंधु मोरवान मनोगम्य नाह एक बिंदु. My Lord, your opulence is like an unlimited ocean of nectar, and it is verbally and mentally impossible for me to realize even a drop of that ocean. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Prabhupada Goswami, what did he say? I'm only giving a one drop of ocean of that nectar, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. In that big ocean of nectar, I'm giving a one drop. So that itself is a huge. You're not able to comprehend nectar devotion. You can understand this how much ocean of nectar is there in spiritual world. जानन्त एव जानन्तु किं बहु बहुक्त्या नमे प्रभो मनसो वपुसो वाचो वैभवं तव गोचरा. There are people who say, I know everything about Krishna. Let them think that way. As far as I am concerned, I do not wish to speak very much about this matter. Oh my Lord, let me say this much. As far as your opulence are concerned, they are all beyond the reach of my mind, body, and words. If Brahma himself, who is the secondary creator, is saying about this, then who are we? We are hardly so minute, insignificant. So what we know about Krishna? So that's why we are here. कृष्णेर महिमा रहु केव तारा ज्ञाता वृंदावन स्थानेरा देखा आश्चर्य विभूता. Let the glories of Lord Krishna be. Who could be aware of all of them? Is about Vrindavana has many wonderful opulence. Just try to see them all. With this verse we'll stop. श्लोक क्रोश वृंदावन शास्त्रेण प्रकाशे तारा एक देशी वैकुंठ आजंड गणवासे. According to the revelations of the revealed scripture, Vrindavana extends only 16 crores, 32 miles. Nonetheless, all the Vaikuntha planets and innumerable universes are located in one corner of this tract. In this way, we can understand it's unlimited. Glories, opulences of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is unlimited. So, at least we got some glimpse from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's description to Sanatana Goswami. In different places, these kind of opulences are there in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat, so many different books, glories of the and opulences of the Lord. Let's see if anyone has any questions. Grandra Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. You are unmuted. If anyone has questions, you can go ahead. Any questions, comments? No questions. Everybody understood what is being discussed. So from today, tomorrow onward, we are all going to be attentive in hearing, taking it up seriously, and chanting.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yes, go ahead.
So I wanted to say that are we allowed to ask questions on just anything or just
Yes,
on what you?
go ahead.
Yeah. So Prabhu, my question was that when you mentioned that uh, that you need a guru, right, to be able to you cannot just read books and know it all. You need a guru. So if somebody is new and they are starting off and they are reading the Bhagavad Gita, for example, right? And in the Bhagavad Gita, Srila Prabhupada has so many purports that he is the guru that is explaining everything. So you're not reading without a guru, really, was my understanding, because he explains everything in detail. After every verse, he explains it. So is that correct understanding, or should a person just not read by themselves and they should always consult a
They should read on their self, but also they have to hear in the association of devotees. Let's say, example, you read the same verses, you yourself will read how much you are going to understand. You read the same Prabhupada purport only, but it is very difficult to comprehend because in the beginning we don't have faith, we don't have the understanding of what is being spoke about. What is the connection? Why Krishna is saying this? What does it really mean internally? What does it mean? And so that can be only understood if you hear in the association of devotees. What is application aspect? You may understand a little bit, but you really don't know what to apply, what to change in your consciousness, in your day-to-day activities, what to be done with our lifestyle. So that only be understood when you are in the association of devotees. You hear, and then you go back and read. Yes, that's why the sequence of Prabhupada mentioned. If you have a small, first is your health is the first priority, second priority is your kids, if you have small kids, and the third priority is chanting the holy name of the Lord, and the fourth priority is hearing, and the fifth priority is reading. So always you must hear in the association of devotees, those who are advanced, those who are following the footsteps of previous acharyas in their lifestyle, and then by hearing from them, then we'll be able to understand gradually, slowly, not in one class, obviously, but slowly and gradually. And then gradually, when we think that we are serious enough, when we think that we will be able to commit, then we will surrender to a spiritual master. And there are various stages in that also. You don't need to directly take initiation. Neither most of them, none of them will give, because there is 6 months to 1 year period where you are able to chant 16 rounds and following four regulative principles. Then you are being given initiation. So that's it. There is aspiring. For that, there is only one round of chanting, no other rules. Then when you come gradually, come to the when you have faith to surrender to someone, then you take shelter, 16 rounds of chanting and following four regulative principles. Then after that, 6 months or so, then you wait, and then if you are able to follow through, then you take initiation. So in this way, step by step. But initially, when you start, yes, you read proper books, but you also have to hear in the association of devotees. I also had Bhagavad Gita in 1997 or 96 in engineering, but I read, but hardly I could understand what is being discussed. No clue what is being discussed. I have some clue now, but it's a gradual progress. As you become mature, as you read, as you hear, as you follow Guru's instruction in the association of devotee, as you do service, gradually you'll understand what Krishna wants us to do, how he wants us to do, how to improve our service, how to improve our relationship with Krishna and Guru and devotees. So everything will be revealed, but it's a gradual progress. For one who is submitted serious, then it may be just a few years to come to that seriousness, come to that submission stage or nishta stage from Adho Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha. One who has faith, then he will start taking up Krishna consciousness, then he will associate with devotees, that is Sadhu Sangha. Then Bhajana Kriya is initiation, third step. Then gradually Anardas Nivurti will start happening in fourth stage. Then when 75% of the Anardas removed, then we come to Nishta stage. Then gradually we come to the Ruchi and Asakti. That's when Krishna may give some glimpse. We may see him or we may hear some voice, like Narada Muni has heard it. And then we go to the Bhava, ecstatic symptoms. And then Krishna Prema, the highest step. These are the 8 steps, 8 stages. So the stage we are in is called Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, devotion, service, and practice. And it has 2 stages. One is the Sadhana Bhakti, then the other one is Ragana Bhakti. So the second stage to come to that Ragana Bhakti, which is spontaneous. Again, in the second stage also that spontaneous is there, but in this second stage, gradually when we come to that Nishta stage, then we have some kind of spontaneous devotion to some degree. So that is in the first level of practice. There are 3 stages: devotion, service, and practice, devotion, service in ecstasy, devotion, service in pure love of God. So we are in the first stage, which is Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti. We follow rules and regulations. In the association of devotees, we try to hear, we try to chant, and then we do some service if possible at the temple. And then in that way, gradually, when we commit, when we have strengthened faith, then we want to submit to the spiritual master whom we have faith in. Then gradually we'll move on to the next stages. In that way, we'll come to the perfection. It is possible. It is not impossible. Within one lifetime, we can come to the highest perfection, provided we follow the direction of Guru and Krishna in the association of devotees. Then only it is possible. Otherwise, it is not possible by our self endeavor. We have to depend. Endeavor must be there, but also the mercy. The greatest 5% or maybe 20%, 30% is our self endeavor, and then 70% we have to actually depend on the mercy of Guru and Krishna. So, mercy of Guru and Krishna. That's when we'll be able to, we have to constantly pray, seek their mercy and blessings. Obviously, Sri Prabhupada, before we get initiated, Sri Prabhupada is our Siksha Guru for all of us. Then when we come to, then he will show within the heart whom we should surrender to, a spiritual master. Through different channels, you may show who that spiritual master is, then you surrender to him. And then gradually things get start revealed more and more things becomes clear. Confusions will be removed, ambiguity will be removed. So it becomes very clear in the heart, and no confusions, no fear, no lamentation. You are full speed ahead. You have only one goal of serving Guru and Krishna, nothing else, no other goals comes in that way. Everything else is secondary, becomes secondary. So, but it's a gradual progress. Is that clear? Braj Prabhu. I think you joined first time today, I think, maybe. Is that correct?
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you so much, Prabhu. That does make a lot of sense. And I just want to say that I did get myself to 16 rounds daily. But of course, time is the biggest test, right? So it is a matter of I do wake up early and I make it happen. And I've
Very
made
good.
the habit of waking up early, and it is definitely, like you said, possible. But yes, time is the test. Uh, yeah, I've been reading the books and everything, but now I think that piece was missing, like the association with the devotees is definitely one piece that was missing. And I'll try to correct that as
Thank
well.
you. Thank you. Very nice
Hare Krishna.
to have your association. So yeah, we have morning classes. That's why we have japa 5 to 6. You can do on your own, or you can join and put on mute and hear your own voice, whatever you are chanting. And then we have class at 6 to 6:20 or 6:20, 6:30 Bhagavatam class every day morning. So after the japa, obviously. So if you are available, you can join. You can join the Zoom a little bit
Right.
late.
Yes, I will. I will get the link to that from maybe Atul Prabhu or somebody else.
Sure. Yeah, I'll post it if you are. I'll check with Atul. If you are in the group, I'll post it there. If not, we'll send you the separate message until that point.
Sounds good, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Anyone else has questions, comments? Otherwise, we'll conclude already 8:31. Asay Shukaran Jagannath Prabhu, you are there? No questions? Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shubhapad ki jai. Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai.